You know what? I'm in a really conflicted place because I was one of the biggest advocates of getting Biden the hell out of here. I'm asking myself, is this an automatic win for Trump?
All right, so we have introduced a new segment to what would be wrapped, where we actually talk about stuff live as it happens, and then I guess we could recap it in the large monthly podcast that we do. But if you didn't know, my name is KStylez. I have Aaron from Pour Over Finance, and we're going to talk about the very interesting news that came out. I want to say like 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago. It was recent.
About.
So yeah, pretty much. There's been a lot of speculation about this, and it's everybody kind of was leaning towards it, which is the Biden stepping out of the race as the nominee, and after his debate, which was what that is crazy to think that was only like 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
but it was pretty telling that he was not necessarily the sharpest person maybe to be leading this thing. So him stepping down is interesting, especially knowing that like we're in July and elections in November, and I feel like based on traditional timelines for election seasons, we normally know who the nominee is way before this time period. Well, and I mean, yeah, I guess we assumed it was because it's a standing one, but I don't know. It's we're in a place where I feel like we just keep running into unprecedented experiences, and I'm tired. I kind of want things to be boring again, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. What are your thoughts on this in general?
You know what? I'm in a really conflicted place because I was one of the biggest advocates of getting Biden the hell out of here. But I do understand in him being no longer the nominee, or he's no longer the person that's going to step in to the position here. I'm asking myself, is this an automatic win for Trump? Because I don't know that Kamala has been active enough as a vice president to be a formidable opponent for Trump. She was one of
Yeah.
those vice presidents that really just sat in the background. I will say during Obama's presidency, Michelle Obama was way more visible than Kamala has been through her vice presidency. And a lot of the news you would get about her wasn't really the most positive news. I heard that she had a lot of problems getting along with people in the White House, and she was just tough to deal with and things like that. And let's be honest, Trump has a very strong campaign going on right now. He's already got his audience, but he's locked in quite a bit of the younger black audience. And this most recent thing with him being shot, or the attempted
Shot
assassination,
at.
I
Yep.
think I think that painted him a lot more strong in certain people's eyes. He's really got the people behind him right now, at least those that were kind of like down the middle. The red, he already had them. So I don't know. I feel like we're witnessing a potential dropout where he might just take the reign and run with it. However, if Kamala does stand a chance and she becomes president, not only are we going to see the first female president, but it's the first female of color. So this is going to be interesting. I'm actually here for the excitement part of it. I don't want it to be boring, even though it's politics and we should be more concerned with the policies and where the individual is going to be driving the nation in the next 4 years. It's almost become like a WWE match, man. It's like, Hulk Hogan versus Randy Man, the Macho Man Randy Savage. It's like, let's see who wins in this Royal Rumble. So it's unfortunate, but I'm here for it.
To that point, that's why I'm like it should be boring. Like we
Yeah.
looked at a comparison of the debates with Joe Biden and Trump, and you look at Mitt Romney and Obama, and it was like it's a completely different ball game, right? Like it's just not what it used to be. So the one thing I do want to call out is that you talked about Is it Kamala? I feel like I'm saying her name. I'm saying her
I
name wrong.
say
Ah,
Kamala. I don't know if it's right. That's just how I
yeah.
pronounce it.
The thing that I would call out that is I don't necessarily agree with your point about her as a vice president, because like what was what was Pence's thing as a president, as a VP? The VP role is generally a very behind the scenes,
Yes, you're
very
right.
much like I'm waiting in case, right? Like you want to make sure it's somebody competent enough that if the president that you elected, somehow is not able to do their duty, they are able to have somebody follow up. And if you look at it, it's like if you think of all of the VPs, like it's Pence, Biden, Cheney, Al Gore is probably the one that I would have been like, you know what? I could see him, like he was doing stuff behind the scenes. Um, I mean, and there's a bunch of people back there that like we could keep going back that I don't even
No,
remember.
I
Like,
I agree with you. The vice president is normally not up front and center. The vice president plays the background role. The vice president is not as visible. I get all of that and I agree with that, but when we're talking about a vice president taking over in pretty much in the middle of a run,
yeah,
her visibility was very lackluster. So it's
yeah.
not like
Well,
Biden was, like when Biden became president, he had to run to
yeah.
become the president, and he had a campaign and everything behind him. He had to raise funds and all of that. So he had to build that. She's pretty much coming in where this stuff has already been going on. So because she hasn't been that visible, it's going to be tough because now she has to do that and it's kind of late to be doing that.
I don't think I wasn't. I'm not taking away from that. I think that honestly, we can't put the responsibility of that onto her, especially knowing that this is as a result of them, the response to what happened during the debate, right? Like if all things had gone the way that the Democrats had planned, from my uneducated opinion, they would have just been running with the president because it's very infrequent, and I don't have the stats to back it up, but I don't think there's ever been a case where you've had the sitting president not be the top of the ticket, right? Not be the person that's going up for election. So I think that's why I say we're playing politics differently, and so I can't fault her for that part, especially knowing that like she was just supposed to be running as VP, right? Like she was supposed to be running a VP. Had Biden not looked so like utterly confused during the debate, and everybody think that he wasn't gonna make it, they would not have switched her to run the first. Now, the one thing that is gonna be interesting, and I heard we were watching like Fox News before this, because I was like, I always want to get a different opinion. One of the weirdest thing that I'm seeing is that they were really talking about the fact that like her just automatically getting the nomination is not really the democratic way to do it, which is interesting to me because like we don't really have, we're playing without a rule book here. But even Mitch McConnell was like, essentially the Democrats have been working for I guess weeks to upend democracy by removing Joe Biden, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know if we should really stop and take Mitch McConnell, opinion here, especially knowing he's like literally the blue screen from the CrowdStrike. Uh, he every couple seconds he might just like not respond, and that sounds messed up because it sounds like making fun of the dude. But like he's very old and also not able to, in my personal opinion, not able to follow through with his job in his position. So it's very interesting to hear them talk, and I do think there is something to be said that everybody would automatically say that like Kamala is the next one, but it makes sense. She technically was on the ticket anyway, but I do think there, with the whole DNC about to happen, um, it'd be interesting to see if there's anybody else, because it doesn't look like there was a plan for this in the first place, which is just crazy to me. But
Yeah, and I wouldn't take anything that Mitch McConnell says to heart or even give it any kind of credence because, like you said, the guy is the equivalent of trying to run a modern day PC on 4 megs of RAM. He really should just shut up, like be quiet.
But I mean, we'll track this and see how it goes. One of the cool things about doing this immediate response is that by the time we do our final review of July, which is turning out to be quite an interesting one, we will have a little bit more information.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be able to talk more about this. So, we appreciate you for the quick tune in, and we'll see how these goes. Maybe this is how we do these going forward.
Yeah, and sound off in the comments. What do you guys think about this whole craziness that's taking place where Joe Biden has pretty much stepped down and now Kamala is the one that has gotten the open land to go ahead and make it happen. Front runner. So what do you guys think about that? Go ahead, sound off. Let us know what you think, because
Definitely.
maybe we'll include some of those comments in our fully fleshed out video at the end of the month where we wrap up the month of July.
It's very true. I mean, she's getting support out the woodworks. Apparently,
She's got
Bill
mine.
and Bill and Hillary endorsed her already. I'm like, it does seem like the Democrats are running a play here. You say she's got yours. I think it'll be interesting to see who her VP is. Not that it's going to change my opinion one way or the other, but like I'll be intrigued to see, because that's probably going to be. I feel like they're really playing catch up on all of this stuff right now, and so it shall be interesting. But either way, thank you for tuning in. Peace.